Hey, today I want to talk about how we are going to never, ever run out of content. Okay. So I really want to tell you when I first started, this was overwhelming for me because I wasn't even on Facebook. And then finally one day someone challenged me just to post any post. So I loaded Facebook, I got it. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? And I remember it was like minus a billion. My husband was snowmobiling out of town and he called me and he said, can you plug in the Bobcat? And I thought, I think he showed me where the block heater on that was. And I think I was supposed to be listening. And I don't remember. And I went and I took a picture and I did a post and it was the worst post ever. And that's okay. I picked myself up and I just kind of moved on from there. Posting is about trial and error, guys. It's about what resonates with people. It's about you feeling comfortable. You should love doing it. How often should you post? Well, how often can you do it consistently? What should you post? Well, what do you feel passionate about? Okay. There's no right or wrong way through this. And yesterday I touched on a couple things about, being authentically you and about not overthinking it and about, kind of the B minus work and don't have the perfectionism. Yeah, that's all true, but you need to have content and content can be anything. Like I said before, you need to leave something for someone. Think about what you enjoy. Do you enjoy reels? Do you enjoy tips? Do you enjoy laughing? Anything, anytime you're adding value to someone else, that can be a post, right? So first of all, I want you to think of the products and what Plexus has done for you, and you're going to have business. So those are going to be two categories of posting. And again, you're not going to do it all at once. You're going to drip drop. And over the next however long, you're going to be having multiple different things, not all the same posts, not all the same content. Remember, one thing a day, one thing or one thing, one thought in a post kind of thing, right? So you're going to have that. But what else can you post on? Lots of things. At one time, people were like, have an avatar. And I do think there's value in that. Having someone that you're thinking of when you're doing one post, who are you posting to? Don't think, okay, I want to post to busy soccer dads and moms and grandmas, because if you're trying to make it relatable to everyone, it's relatable to no one. So within each post, you have to know who that specific post is written for. That doesn't mean that every post has to be written for that particular person, right? I have a wide audience of ages, ranges, men, women, all kinds of stuff. And I have so many weird interests and hobbies. I'm not really super like streamlined. You can be super streamlined. There's some people that are like, renovating's my thing, baking's my thing. Awesome. Do that, right? I'm going to give you examples of things I've seen that I look for and things I enjoy. And then I'm going to go through and kind of give you ideas on how you're never going to run out of content. Okay. So first of all, I have one friend, the way she does recipes is brilliant. She'll have a picture of her recipe or a picture of the food. Usually two pictures, one of the food and one of the person, someone in her family eating it. And she's always like, family friendly rating of, and she starts her post with that all the time, family friendly rating of 7.5 out of 10 stars. And then she'll be like, this is what we liked. This is what we didn't like. I had all the ingredients or I needed to buy stuff. It was easy. It took a long time, but it was worth it. She gives a very quick kind of rundown. It's lovely. Whenever I'm like, what should I make for supper? Something different. I go and check her stuff out. Okay. I love that. I have some friends that post the funniest things. And when I need a laugh, I go there. Okay. It can be anything. And you don't have to do the same thing all the time. You can kind of break it up a little bit. Right. But as you start to post more, what you want to do is you want people to know who you are. Okay. You want to attract your people. You want to bring the people into your world that are meant to be there. And the people that aren't your people, it's okay to repel them. It's okay to have strong opinions. It's okay to be like, this is where I stand, and have people leave. I'm not going to get into, you should be negative. You should be controversial. You can't be controversial. You can't talk about religion. You can't talk about politics. It's your page, baby. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Just know the stronger you are, you will attract certain people. That's not a bad thing because you're finding your particular people. So as you go through your day, think of all of these things, take pictures as they're happening. Sometimes I have notes and I just kind of put little notes down, but here's some things you can post on. What are the books you're reading? Okay. What lessons in life are you learning? If you are reading and it can be personal, fun, interesting books. It can be growth books. What podcasts you're listening to, what growth is happening and what lessons are you learning? Bring people into the lessons you're learning, your deep thoughts, your fun thoughts. It can be things you're observing, the fun that you're having, doing things with your children. It doesn't, again, all have to be deep or relatable. It can be tips, tricks, and hacks on mom life, animal life, marriage, anything that you're learning that you're enjoying, you can post on, right? In order to kind of be an expert, you need to know like 2 to 10% more than someone. So if you read a book and you learn one thing, share it. Okay. I have a friend and she works in a bank. And so she has a thing called Pam scams. And every time there's a new scam, she posts it. She's like, this is a new scam coming out. You know, you're educating, you're informing people. Give people, like we're in health, you guys. So it can be like tips on drinking water. Here's 3 reasons why you need to drink water. You don't have to sell hydrate at the end. You can just give tips and tricks on drinking water, or why is sleep important. Anything that you're literally learning or running across in a day can be a post. It's just, how do you present it? Do you present it in the story kind of way, like we said yesterday? What you really want to do is draw people into the emotion of who you are. What are you trying to resonate? Who are you trying to be? Are you being funny? Are you being sarcastic? Are you being informative? Are you trying to connect with people? However you're trying to connect with people, that's what you want to be posting. That's what you want to be bringing to the table. Hobbies, there's so many different hobbies: knitting and gardening and baking and sourdough and like animal pictures. Maybe you love to take animal pictures. My son, when he first got a camera, he was just posting, he would take interesting, weird pictures of stuff that like really close up. And this one, it looked like the moon. Everyone's like, that's amazing. That's a moon. What was his drum? Like, you know, just the way his drum was in the dark. You can take pictures and be like, hey, what do you think this is? You can ask people for advice or opinions, and you can give opinions, right? If you buy a new blender, be like, everyone says this brand is the best. I disagree. Here's the best blender ever. Take a picture of what you're doing. Like anything you're doing in your life can be postable. It can be relatable. You never have to run out of content. And if you're thinking of every week, you're going to be doing, let's say maybe a couple on your business and a couple on your health, then you just sprinkle in who you are throughout it. And you can always sprinkle the same thing. You can be recipe gal, and maybe you just want to post recipes. Maybe you only want to post stuff about working out. Maybe you only want to post stuff about kitchen organization or bedroom organization. You can pick anything you want. Your people will find you. You just have to consistently be showing up. Okay. The second thing I really want to keep in mind for you as you're posting and as you're thinking of what do I want to post, check last year's post. Every time I go to post, I look at my memories from last year. People will not remember in 365 days. Trust me. The first time I did it, I was like, are people going to know? And there was 2 people who were like, wow, this is the most brilliant thought ever. It's never occurred to me. I posted it. The same 2 people happened to see it. Well, more people than that commented a similar thing. So a year before, it was the best thing they'd heard. They'd never heard it before. And a year later, they'd never heard it again. You might tweak it. You might be like, oh, I've kind of changed my opinion on this a bit. You might change it. But check it. Do not forward your memories. Do not just post it as a memory. Actually go into your memory, save it, copy the content, use the same picture or an updated picture, and redo it. You can do it the same if you like it, or you can update it. People will not remember from year to year. And even if they did have that kind of memory, not everyone sees every post. Plus you have different people interacting, right? This is a game of interacting and having people come in and move, and you have a revolving door. People have left, people have come. So it's really okay to have the same post 365 days apart, right? So always do that. If you have one that's not applicable on that day, I have a folder, just read your memory, save it, and do that, okay? Another thing I want to tell you is you can take one idea, it can be in your stories, it can be a post, and it can be a reel. Or you can take a reel and break it up into multiple posts, or you can take a story idea. Like there's so many ways to put it together. So you're not having to think of like kind of brand new content. Like I did one reel and I really liked it. And then I kind of typed out a few different ideas and I made it over the next 2 weeks. I had 3 different posts that kind of incorporated or captured different parts of the same reel, right? So you don't have to, when you're streamlining things and you're really going down to, I have 1 point. Sometimes I'll do a post and then I'm like, okay, that's actually 3 posts, right? There's 3 points in there. And so I kind of break it up a little bit. So when you're doing it this way, you always will have content. There's nothing, no one's life is that boring. And if your life is that boring, just go somewhere, do something, and learn how to tell the story. It's not that some people have more interesting lives. Some people are just better at telling the story of it, right? Draw people on how are you feeling when it happened, right? Don't just say, you know, I saw a dog, it ran across the road. It was cool. Be like, it was the most bizarre thing. This dog was doing X, Y, and Z. And I thought blah, 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 blah. And then I saw it and oh my gosh, it's like how you tell the story are going to literally bring people into you. Okay. So there's never a need to be running out of content. Never. You have things going on in your life, and some days you'll have 5 things going on in your life. Catalog it. You don't always have to be posting at the same time, if that makes sense, right? I know that was a lot again, but I hope it was helpful. Comment below if you have any ideas, if you have questions, if you want clarification. But again, there's no right or wrong thing to post. Do not ask me, do you think I should post this? Because I'm going to say, well, what do you think? If you like it, if you think it's a good post, if you read it and feel good about it, someone else is going to feel good about it. And that's the point, right? Throwing yourself out there. Don't give up. Keep going. At first, no one's going to comment. Find what's interactive. You're going to keep going. You're going to gain traction. You're going to play around. And I promise you, you're going to figure it out. So happy posting.